Hey everyone. Now we're live. Sorry about that. Keyword today for the session 5% Cash Profit Friday is funded. So make sure you put that keyword into the YouTube chat here. Not sure how I keep forgetting to hit the go live button. Staring me right in the face. I guess I get so excited. So again, just a few things since some of you guys didn't hear my pre-market kind of analysis here. We've got some key levels coming up here on the NQ at the 269, the 244, and the 236. A lot of volume sitting right here. So this is something definitely to that the market's going to probably want to come in and attack here this morning. We've got another setup below us. Again, nice level sitting at the 25.037 and the 953. Almost exact same setup as I gave you guys yesterday, where we had the market come in, sweep this big pocket of liquidity, and had just an absolute ripper to the top side. A lot of volume sitting right here. We're already in an area of buyer and unbalanced volume area sitting right here. So this could be a really nice setup here on the NQ for this morning. And then as far as the ES is currently sitting between levels at the 68.60 and the 68.58, and another level sitting at the 68.76. We do have a signal here on the ES sitting at the 68.15. Sorry, not a level, a setup at the 68.15, targeting the 68.18 and the 68.21. We do have this key level at the 68.14 that's sitting about a point below entry. Again, this fits really nicely on the volume profile. My only concern here slightly is if stop could be maybe added another 2 points to get a little bit of protection from this peak here in the volume profile. Make this setup even, I think, even juicier. But we'll see. We need the market to give us here some direction. A few setups in gold. Gold's been absolutely killing it. I put up some setups on with my signal members, and these are all just hitting extremely well. I would say this one up here is more like probably a B to a B plus setup, but we do have a short opportunity at the 48.20.5, targeting the 48.16 with a stop at the 48.24. And then these setups below us, which I kind of like even maybe a little bit more. Long entry at the 47.70.3, targeting the 47.73 with the stop at the 47.66. And again, another long here at the 47.53, targeting the 47.58 to the 47.47. So those are kind of the setups here in gold that I'll be looking at. Again, kind of a choppy start to the morning here on the NQ. And again, for the Cash Profit Friday, 5% of my total session profits will be given away at 10:45 a.m. Just type in the keyword funded and the YouTube chat, and that'll automatically enter you in for the giveaway. All right, let's take a look here at our 15-minute initial balance setup. Let's see if we can capture here a decent little trade. Looks like we might attack here the initial balance low on the first 15 minutes, but we'll see. I have not traded on CFDs, Tiger. And if you guys stick around this morning, I will kind of go over here a strategy that I have, I'm really, really fond of, and super easy to follow, very mechanical. I think it incorporates the best of all the price action theories that are out there, but really incorporates volume extremely well. So hopefully we'll be able to take a setup on that here this morning, and I'll kind of give you guys a live demonstration of how that strategy works. Also implemented a very simple 15-minute initial balance trade into my arsenal of trades here in the morning. Very, very simple setup. Very, very tight stop losses on here. And the theory is actually very, very simple. Once we get a 30 range footprint candle that crosses either the initial balance high or the low, this is purely a breakout strategy. This is not a retest or a comeback strategy. I'll show you guys a few examples of some opening range strategies that are out there. I've never been a fan of the 15-minute orb, to be honest with you. I just thought that there was kind of a lot of conflicting. Let's just say that you had to be extremely mechanical, but if you trade the 15-minute orb with the conventional 1 to 5 minute candle, I found that one, your stop loss placement is typically in a very, very unrealistic area, and on the 5 minute, even more extreme. It could be a 60 point. It could be a 60 point candle. It could be a 70 point candle. And there's a lot of theories on the opening range. You know, you can have your straight breakout. You could have your retest and go. You can have come back to either the midpoint or some area here of volume. I actually like this trade a lot better. I think it probably works out has much better win rate. But the strategy that I have is extremely simple. It is a breakout of the top or the bottom, and it's using the 30 range. So as we know, the 30 range is pretty much just 30 ticks. So 7.5 points is the equivalent to this candle right here. So once I get across here, I automatically take a trade. I've got a 30-point take profit, and I've got about 8 points of risk on this trade because my stop loss goes at the bottom of that candle. So again, very tight stop, and the second that I get the next up candle, my stop loss goes directly below the next candle up. So typically I'll only be in for about 1 to 3 points of stop on there. So again, super tight risk on this one, but really let it run for 30 points of take profit. And traded already 2 days this week. First day I took a 3.5 point loss. That one went for like 18 points before hitting my I call it break even, but my stop loss at the 3 points. And then yesterday again we had a decent. Actually, no, that yesterday we had a really choppy 15 minutes to the market, so it did take an 8.5 point loss on that one. But the beauty on that strategy is it's really just a mathematical equation. You know, typically you'll find at least 2 to 3 trades that will go your 30 points per week. So let's just take worst case scenario. If you get 2 trades per week at your 30 points, that's 60 points. And if you take 3 full losses, all at, let's just say, 10 points of stop loss, which should never happen. But if they do, let's say you get a terrible fill or whatever, then your total losses for the week add up to 30 points, which still leaves you with 30 points of profit. So again, very, very prop friendly. Very prop friendly, I should say. And I think the biggest issue that I see with how the initial range is traded is that, you know, there's so many different, you know, do you take the 5 minute? Do you take the 15 minute? Do you take the 30 minute? I love taking the 1 hour initial balance of the market. You guys know it's probably my most successful trade that I have, just because by then you've got a full hour of price action in the market. So you've got really good established pivots. Today we do have some decent established pivots here because we've kind of been set in a range. And so the first hour for me is, I consider to be a very awesome strategy. And again, we're just targeting the liquidity that is obviously sitting down there or up there at the initial balance. So the 15 minutes the same. The only difference is that in the first 15 minutes you get a lot more of your institutional positioning. It's the most liquid minutes of the market. So that is when your big players come into the market. And so there is that benefit of the first 15 minutes. But the way that it's normally traded with the 1 minute or the 5 minute candle, for me, has always been extremely tricky. I really have never been a fan of it. So we'll see here if we do have some liquidity sitting at the 69s, which gives us 30 points, depending on where the closure of this break here happens, if we do attack the low here. Morning, Soul. So kind of similar price action to yesterday's open. It wasn't until about I don't know, I think around 9:15, somewhere around that point, that we started getting a little volatility to the upside. And again, pretty small range here. It's about 79 points, 78 points. Very similar range to yesterday's 15-minute initial balance. Yeah, so another great reason to use the footprint, besides all of the amazing qualities that it has, it's showing you the true volume and the true, this is just price action, okay? So, you know, for these candles to move, there needs to be price action. This is not time-based. There's no time element to these footprint candles. They're all based on a range, a tick range, a point range, whatever you want to call it. The 60 range, which I use a lot, is equivalent to 15 points or 60 ticks. The 120 range, which is my main footprint for majority of all my strategies, you know, that's 30 points or 120 ticks. So the nice thing about the footprint charts in general is that when you get a candle closure here, you're not waiting for a time-based candle to kind of catch up, or to, you know, temporarily, you might get the nice move, you might get the pullback, and then you might get the nice move, or you might close down here. You still got a strong, you have to be looking at volume and what the market is actually doing. So, which is why I use the delta down here to obviously help me out. But in situations like this, it will definitely get you into the trade much quicker, and again with very little risk, depending on how well your entry is. You know, I mean, obviously you can automate the strategy. There's always that. It's probably even smarter to automate the strategy, just because, you know, it's the automated strategy will get you into these trades much quicker. But again, as far as strategy overall, nothing really to do here yet this morning. And we do have news coming out in 5 minutes. So if we break the initial balance on the news event, very difficult to usually get into those trades. Very little liquidity sitting in the market, so your fills are going to be extremely bad. So just make sure that you kind of keep that in mind. I'd almost rather the low be taken out, just because I already know that we've got a key level down here at the 269. So we've got some, we definitely got some decent volume sitting right here. And that gets us really close to that 30-point TP target. Give me 1 second. Morning, Key. Hey, good morning. Jay loves, no, I never trade from my phone. For those of you that have used the Ninja Trader mobile platform, it's pretty horrific in my opinion. I don't think it's great at all. I will check TradingView just to kind of see, you know, keep tabs on the market, but that's pretty much it. I am able to pull up TradingView on my Tesla screen in the car, so that's usually what I do. I'm very rarely ever on my phone for the charts. I agree 100%. I think most brokerages, most platforms in general need to up their mobile game just a bit. You know, I get it. You're confined to a small screen, so you know, I'm not expecting, you know, footprint charts and stuff like that on there. But I mean, to enter into like a bracket order on the Ninja Trader mobile is it takes time, and if you're scalping, you know, unless you've got a setup that you've got pre-planned, and even that, it's just not easy. So we got about a minute to news here, so just keep that in mind. Probably see a good spike here. You'll notice that if you open up these footprints up way opened up, you'll see, I can't because it automatically scales down, but you'll see a lot of zero prints, even though this this move doesn't look too. Oh no, we still got a minute left, or a couple seconds, I should say. There's the news release. Surprising they haven't attacked it here yet. If we do tap in here, I will see if I can get into this trade. This market looks like it's definitely waiting for something, though. Again, not the greatest price action here for this these type of trades yesterday or today. But again, it's just it's a law of mathematics here, so we'll just play it on our side and see what happens. So we're just looking for a cross of that initial balance, the 15-minute initial balance low there at the 25,290, and then see if I can tag. Oh, I might have got in there. Let's see. All right. So no close candle there. Very similar setup to yesterday, and we did go all the way up to initial balance high. So we'll see here. So if this closes as a red footprint, it'll automatically get into the trade here for me. Oh, maybe not. There we go. That's kind of a funky fill. All right, let's see if we get a little push down here. Not this chop. The same chop as yesterday. Same chop as yesterday. Exactly. Very, very similar setup to yesterday's trade. All right. We gave that one a shot. Let's see what... So yesterday we tapped into the initial balance just like we did today. It was very, very similar market day, very similar open, and we came right back to attack the initial balance high. So if there was a setup on the books that you're into patterns on what the market likes to do, it's exactly what it did yesterday. But we'll see here what... Again, it's got a good amount of liquidity sitting here at the 269s that I was really anticipating it to want to tap into. But again, the trades are so low risk that it's okay to take you're going to take your share of losses. And we're just not getting really any direction here whatsoever. So now that we pretty much took a break-even day, we took an 8-point loss day, a 10-point loss day, you know, we should have Monday, Tuesday both be 30-point winners. If we take the law of averages on our side. Doesn't always happen that way, but... Yeah, but even that news release really did absolutely nothing. That news release came out right around here, and I mean, we pretty much not even a 10-point move off the news. So that news really, the market really did not give a shit about. Super surprised that they did not take out this 269 level. Well, Key, if you think about it this way, what's really been driving the markets these last couple of weeks? It's all been the headlines with Iran, the oil. That's been the main driver of this 2,000 point, 2,300, almost 2,500 point recovery. Has only just been on headlines. That's all that the market has been driving up. And now when we're now in this kind of 2-week pause that was been given, you know, unless something comes up, I know we're in negotiations here today, at least that's what Financial Juice says, is that all day negotiations with Iran. You know, unless some key headline comes out of that, which, to be honest with you, if you start to see any big spikes, that's, you can look at your news service and that's what you're seeing is a headline. So these markets really the last couple of weeks have been strictly headline driven, which in general is a difficult way to trade because, you know, you're in a trade that's a great setup. It's happened to me already twice where I've got, you know, what I consider to be an A+ setup. We're real close to target and then a headline comes out, spikes you in the opposite direction. You know, sometimes you'll get the spike in the right direction, but, you know, the headlines are well, looks like they finally came after the 269s. All right, so this might be a good opportunity, maybe a good chance here to show you the strategy live here. So again, the strategy that I have using the footprints and using strictly volume, but also using price action theory, all combined into one. It really takes all of the best aspects of all of the proven trading strategies that are out there, and I think makes it into one killer strategy. So, you know, the premise of the market obviously does not move in a straight line. It obviously retraces constantly. And what we're trying to do, you know, I probably should take that part off again here. You know, what the market loves to do is this constantly. And what we're trying to do is, you know, how do we capture this this retracement? Well, I've always been using my footprint charts for flips, which is a great entry confirmation. I look for areas of unbalanced volume, which is also a very great strategy. And this incorporates all of them. So once we have a move to the downside, which what I like to see, and this is what I teach in my volume masterclass, is I want to see a break of structure. So we had a kind of a temporary break of structure right here, and now we'll have you know, I'm looking for at least 3 moves to the downside. 3 to 5 moves to the downside is the sweet spot of this strategy, and then you're just waiting for your one retracement back up, which we got right here. Well, hopefully we'll get right here. We don't necessarily know if that's going to come out. Let me delete that. And then very simple, we put in our fixed volume profile tool from the top of your move to the first up candle move to the upside. And then once you draw that out, you'll see where all of your levels will show up. All of your trading levels will automatically be there for you. So you might have a point of control sitting right here. We've got a built-in stop loss at the break of structure to the top side up here. So that's built in. Your entry could be the value area high, which is a very popular one. And value area high, again, if we go off of just basic market theory, if you've got your value area high sitting up here, and we are looking for a move, continued move to the downside, we're looking to possibly get the highest price possible for us to continue the move to the downside. Okay, and you'll see that your take profit levels will automatically show up. And you know, once we get into a few of these setups here this morning, I'll kind of walk you through them. Just this morning alone, you know, if we start from the beginning of the session, which happened, let's see, I think the first setup, this is from yesterday. One second. Yeah, just not a lot of price action. Let's see here. All right, this one, if we go to 4:52 in the morning, this would be your first setup here. You get your 4 up bars right here. You got your first down bar break of structure right here, which I love. Then all you do is you put your fixed volume profile tool. You start from the middle of your footprint to your other to your down footprint candle. This will automatically populate for you. You'll have your value area low. You'll have your point of control. And in this scenario, we have a target, an entry right here at the value area high, or value area low, I should say. And you just wait, resting limit order right there, targeting right back to the break of structure up here or to the point of control. Both are sitting right here. In this scenario, you missed entry here by about 4 or 5 points, which obviously will happen. That is to be expected. And then your next move right here, same exact setup. You get your 4 pushes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You wait for your first down candle. After the 3 candles up, you put your fixed volume profile tool, and you've got a built-in entry right here at the value area high. You can also take another entry at the point of control. So it's giving you all of your entries, your TPs, your stop losses. They're all built in right into the fixed volume profile. And on this particular trade, this one happened right before news. So this came up. You were probably about 78 points of profit right there on the news. I would not have been in this trade, obviously, even during that news release, but just kind of giving you the examples. The next setup here at 7:30, you got your 3 legs down. You got 1 footprint back to the upside here. And let me just let me switch over here because we look like we are closing out one right here. So fixed volume profile, we've got an entry that we can take right here. Let's see if we get filled. I think we might have maybe, okay, good. So we got into this trade here. Stop loss automatically gets placed at the 346, which is a break of structure. By that point, we're already off on our we are off on our estimate there. I should say on our bias. So we've got right now a move to the downside. Now we're just looking for a continuation push to the downside. You've got point of control sitting right here at the 25,300. Value area low right now at the 25 to, what is that, the 270. So again, all of your entries are really just kind of built in. You know, looking at this trade though, we did tap into this key level at the 25,269. So we'll see if we come right back down and test it. That's fantastic for us. That'll be a nice 39-point winner, but we'll see. And again, like everything, it's a law of probabilities. You know, the last 4 trades that we've taken like this, they've all gone to TP. But eventually, you know, you're going to, you know, where the strategy obviously takes a hit is going to be on days where you range like this. These are always going to be tough because when you're, stupid thing, it's always, sorry. So it's days like these that are kind of tough, because when you try to target the value area low down here, you get tagged into this entry, but you get stopped out right here just to see the move go into your direction. You know, you've got value area high sitting right here on this leg. You might get tagged out on your stop just to see the move, move to the downside. So there is obviously always going to be days where the strategy does not work out, really well. But again, it incorporates so many really good principles of trading, following trends, waiting for pullbacks, getting in at better pricing. So it's got that all kind of built into one. So we'll see how this trade here unfolds. Got about 36 points of risk on here. And where I see the unbalanced volume here from sellers is sitting right here. So I'll put it up here on the chart. It makes it maybe a little bit easier to see. And then let's put this in points. 16 points there. And if we break through here, let's look for the next setup. They might come after that initial balance high, which is, perfectly fine as well. Because if they do break this, then we've got a new leg to the upside and we've got some new trading opportunities. Everything's an opportunity. And just to make this a little cleaner, I'll take this off so we can see it a little bit better here. We do have a chunk of volume, though, sitting right here that the market looked like it just tested out. So we'll see if that gives us some... Let's see if it gives the sellers back some confidence here and drives this market, at least a break of structure right down here. And we are about 12 minutes away from initial balance of the entire market, so we'll see how that plays out. Let me get that indicator up and running here. We already know where our initial balance high is sitting at. It should be right at that same level from before. Probably get rid of that. We still got 12 minutes for the market there, so we'll see. All right, so going right back in, and looks like we are retesting this big volume sitting right here. We really need sellers here to continue their push here. Let's just take a look here. What's going on here with news? France's president, Reverend Versailles, German economy minister. Oh, I didn't even see that that piece of news that came out at 5 this morning from the Kremlin. There might be peace today if Ukraine's Zelensky makes the decision. Interesting. I would assume that if there's a decision made there, that could make the markets definitely react. Again, we tapped right into this key level that we had at 269, which is where I kind of thought that initial balance trade was going to attack. It obviously chopped before doing that, so that was a little unfortunate. And we got initial balance. First initial balance is still sitting right up here right now at the 25,369. So good amount of liquidity sitting there as well. So we've pretty much been in drawdown almost this entire trade here. We did get pretty close back to break even here, but they are at least still defending this area where you obviously can see where the volume was at, even though the most volume was obviously conducted right here. So this would be a great place for them to maybe want to come and revisit, but we'll see. So again, getting pretty close here to our kind of break of structure here, and 2, obviously really close to our stop loss area. So 2 not so great signs. But don't give up faith on the trade yet. This is still a big area of volume, so let's see if sellers continue to defend here or not. Came about a point there, 2 points away from our stop. And overall, just really still in this range. I mean, in this trade, if you're just a range trader, it's still a great strategy because it just keeps you in that range really well. Just taking a little bit of market dynamics into there and some volume principles into it. Obviously, it doesn't trade doesn't look very great right now, but not giving up hope here. All right, so stopped out there. Five minutes for initial balance here now. And I'll be right back, guys. And then typically on these setups, you know, 1 to 2 setups, if you take, you know, 2 consistent losses in a row, you know, you're obviously really stuck in a pretty hard range to break out of. And that model that I showed you guys a little bit earlier, it's most likely then what's going to be in play for the day. This is very tough to trade, really, for any trader whatsoever. But you can spot it very, very easily this way with this strategy. And it is purely mechanical, so there's really not a lot of discretion that's involved in it. Like I said yesterday, it's a pretty boring strategy, but it's very effective. So in gold, the setup that I had originally given you guys here, I already had labeled this one kind of like a B setup here in gold. I do not like that that sweep right there in between our TP and entry. So this is probably now closer to like a C- type of setup. Get my initial balance here ready. Take this guy off. All right. So our initial balance high is at the 25,369. Initial balance low is at the 25,268. We got the 30 range on the main chart here. We got the 60 range on the bottom chart here. I'd like to take this off if I can. Just to make that a little cleaner. Again, for initial balance, which is the first hour of the market trading here, I have very specific rules. I am really looking only for a delta flip on my footprint candle, which we did not get there yet. Got a lot of positive delta here. All right, we'll take a, oh shoot. All right. A little slow there, but we'll put about 11 points of risk here. Looks like the 60 is probably going to give us a flip as well. It did. The 60 gave us a great flip, so I could reduce down to here, which puts me down to about 9 points of risk. Let's just hope that we don't see the same freaking chop fest that we've been seeing. We get some decent movement here. See if we get the retest here. Obviously, if we break the top of this footprint right here, I am going to be out of this trade. Do like what I'm seeing here. We should get a pretty good dump here. I don't want to see it retest again. So we're at about 5 points of risk here now. Let's just see what's been left unbalanced. So right here is, this is an area that they probably will attack right underneath my TP. I like that. Say right, yeah, right below my TP. So again, got about 5 points of risk here. Try to make 20 points. It's just this market is just super slow. These IB trades usually close out much quicker than that, but we'll see. This is definitely an area that they're gonna want to rebalance down here at the 43s. So it's just being extremely stubborn with my take profits. I actually really didn't anticipate a bounce right here. Nothing really so the NQ, yeah, the NQ's got the 337s that it's going to want to come after. Where's this at? So let's take a look at the book map here. This is pretty much right at my target right here. Good amount of liquidity sitting right there, so let's just hope that the market taps into it. If we can get a tap in right here, we've got full take profit here. But the market is being extremely, buyers just absorbing again. And what are they looking at? They got the 70s, which is right where my stop loss is at. That's the next, I'll show you guys the liquidity sitting right here at the 70s. So this could be somewhere that they tap right into as well. 30 contracts sitting right there, but hopefully we can get out of this trade before then. Nice. All right, nice little winner there. Got back our 20 points. And let's take a look here really quickly and see what let's see how this next leg up here. Let's see what this looks like here. All right, kind of like that. So we'll take one position right here at the point of control, and we can target this one right here with the break of structure, and then our stop can be at the break of structure down here, which is also the IB low we've already kind of tested. Let's bring this guy up just a tad. So again, on this model, oh, sorry about that. On this model, you know, if we break structure here to the upside, we get a strong close candle above this break, then this order cancels out, and we'll just look for the next leg up. But you guys can see the benefits of this strategy right here. This is obviously your value area low, sitting all right down here. Very little volume. So it's a retest back into point of control, which is going to be obviously where the most business was conducted in this leg. You wait for a retest from here, and we continue with this now temporary market change back to the upside. So again, it's really trying to capture the best of all market theories that are out there. I should say all the good market theories that are out there. So on that move, on the initial balance, again, really easy to spot. If you guys remember where I had that, where I put that line down, I think it was somewhere around here. Real easy place to spot it, where they left volume unbalanced. Not the greatest structure. It came right out of here. Did not like this little candle, but still break of structure here. impulsive move to the upside. So they had some unbalanced volume there sitting there. And I also got the confirmation from Bookmap as to the liquidity spot that they were kind of targeting. But even that trade for 20 points just seemed very difficult. So we are sitting at... And then when you get scenarios like this where your risk to reward isn't great, what I do, which is very simple, is I find my unbalanced volume area, which is sitting right here. And I pretty much just cut it in half, so I could take my stop loss here. Might be a little hard for me to grab now. Let's see if I can get rid of this guy, so I can see this a little easier right here. Almost had him. There we go. We had him. I don't know why he's being difficult. So right here. Let's see if that worked. Did not. Halfway there. All right, so that makes your risk to reward just a little bit better. And again, impulsive move to the upside. Break of structure. This is your unbalanced volume area right here. Sitting right smack in the middle part of that. Just to make your risk to reward a little bit cleaner. 48 points of TP. All right, well, that was a strong move. Oh, was there news there? That was very strong. Let's see what kind of news just came out there. That was aggressive. So 48 point TP. Very safe target would be your 58, which is your value area high sitting right here. I know it's hard to see with the numbers, but like right here is a very safe target as well. I'll see what kind of reaction we get to when we get to this level right here, and maybe just lock in some profits for the morning. Not seeing really anything coming out on the news service, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, not seeing anything coming up on news here, unless anybody sees anything else. $9:32. That was about 10 minutes ago. I don't know. It just seemed like maybe it was a quick spike into take out some of that volume there. So let's go. Let's continue that little momentum to the upside here. So this is kind of what we're looking at right here. Again, real safe target would be your 25,358. I might look to take profit in somewhere in this vicinity right here. Kind of struggling here with some momentum. Let's see what they kind of need to get through here. Do like this flip right here. It's a nice little confirmation for us. I do like this target up here. All right, now we got some headlines that came out. Iran's parliament speaker, ceasefire in Lebanon and release of Iranian blocked assets must occur before negotiations. Iran's parliament speaker, 2 of the steps mutually agreed upon between the groups have yet to be implemented. So those just hit the wire a couple minutes ago. Definitely not positive news, but how the market reacts is a different story. We also do have a naked point of control sitting over here from the previous leg that never got tapped into. So there's always that, which is fine because that could give me some defense on this trade. Come on, let's just see a 100-point rip to the upside. Let's stun everybody. And your risk to reward on these strategies, they'll vary, obviously, depending on price action, like where your point of control is at, where your value area high, low is sitting at. Majority of the time, it's going to be really nice risk to reward. You can obviously adjust your risk to reward a little bit as well, but it's got to make sense. So what I did here was I took where the buyers had their most strength, which is in this vicinity right here. This is what they've left unbalanced. So that's kind of a protection for me, which is very in line with the point of control sitting right here as well. And that's how I just reduced my risk to halfway there, because all the way down would be about 60 points. maybe, yeah, about 60, no, about maybe 55, 57 points of risk here, targeting 48. So not the greatest risk to reward. And not all of them are going to be 1-to-1, but some of them are going to be 1-to-2. Some of them will be negative risk to reward. So just kind of take that for what it's worth. So above us, we got the initial balance high still sitting up here. We've got the value area high sitting at the 25,358. So you've got a few targets up here, and then obviously your break of structure is sitting at the 25,373, which is currently where I've got my TP set. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to use the washroom really, really fast. Not much more for me to do here. Oh, let me see if let's see how price action. Let's see how price action develops here at the 358. You know what? I think I got time. I gotta go. All right, I'm back, and I didn't really miss much. Still not close to any of our TPs yet, so not much here to do. You know, right now, this is kind of our wall that we've got where buyers have shown at least a little bit of strength here. Only really other good layer of defense for me is going to be this point of control right here, which is where this unbalanced volume is happening. So these are kind of the two levels that I have volume-wise that give me at least some protection on this trade here. And then obviously my stop's sitting right below there. But the market definitely doesn't want to go anywhere in a hurry, that's for sure. You know, if you want to be super conservative with your stops too, you know, you do have a flip right here. So we've got negative delta. We're still able to push with as a green footprint here. So this was a delta flip for us. If you want to be conservative with your stop, that 25,305 area could be an area where you say, hey, I'm done with this trade. Just based on the range of the day, I think that this is going to need a little bit of space, so I'm not moving from here as of right now. We'll see if we get the defense. If not, we'll move on. You know, I mean, J-Love, on certain days, tight stop losses make you feel phenomenal. You know, on rangy days like today, tight stop losses, as you guys can see on some of the earlier trades, well, I should say that IB trade that we took, you know, those will obviously hurt just a bit. But that's fine. Even on the range days where, you know, your probability might not be the greatest, even if you take small paper cuts, you're not bleeding out completely. You know, it's not a knife to the gut. And you live to trade the next day, and the next day, Monday, might turn out to be a nice trending day. Moves become, you know, nice and easy. Yeah, I mean, that's... I was listening to a podcast. I had a kind of a long drive over the weekend, and was listening to a podcast where the guy was like, he's like, take your stop loss and take where your stop loss would have been at. You know, so in our case, you know, either the break a structure down here at the 269 or where I'm at the 283. And he's like, just take your stop loss and reverse that to be your entry. Give yourself extra stop from there, and see how your trades develop. Granted, I think that was a pretty broad statement, and I think it was a statement to you know, like, it was a catchy kind of statement there, but... And then rules, you know, you have your rules in place, and stick to those rules. I mean, you guys have seen the 15-minute initial balance trade. We took already 3 trades, 1 break even, two losses, and you could say, you know what, fuck this, I'm not trading this anymore because it doesn't work. Well, if you follow your rules and you take a look at, you know, and it'll be the day that you don't take the trade that hits your 30 points that now is giving you a buffer for 4 more days. You get another trade, now you're really nicely into some profit. So I did take profit there on my Top Step X account. It was probably a good spot to take some profit off there, but... I did close that trade out in my Top Step X account on 3 funded accounts there. I did say I would look at this area right here, didn't I? Alright, so what have they left unbalanced here? This could be an area for them to re-tap into for the next leg up, which kind of sucks because that's right by my entry. I hate to go back into some drawdown here, but this is a logical spot right here for them to want to rebalance, maybe for the next move to the upside. We'll see. I got no issue taking profit somewhere in this junk right up here, in between this area and the initial balance high. See if we can get a strong little push here. Like the consolidation there. Tap. And they did give me another opportunity there. Like I said, this is your safest target. This is your value area high. This would be kind of like a TP2 for me. I had another position open here, so maybe a little greedy here, not taking profit right there. I could come right back to bite me in the ass. I probably would have brought my day back up to slightly green. Alright, so a little sweep there of liquidity that they just did. Alright, now let's look at bookmap here. 360. Yeah, 360 is where the, right around here is where they're sitting at. Which is right here. They've left a little pocket right there. I appreciate it, Tiger. Yeah, if you guys haven't hit the like on the stream, guys. We could see a little explosive move. Let's see if we can get some absorption here or not. Yeah, right there's a little bit. Let's see if we get a little continuation here. Let me see what the 30 is showing me. Not great. All right, so they're fighting. The buyers are fighting. It's just they're not. So this now can really, they're like right here. This is where kind of the fight's at. I don't know. This one might take a while. Yeah, they're putting up a pretty good wall right here. Putting up a pretty good wall here at the 360. So that's just temporary. Could be temporary liquidity there. I don't know. Not giving me the greatest feeling though. Like to see some buyers step in. See anything on the news? No, I don't see anything on news right now. Yeah, still a lot of selling pressure here. Come on, Bulls. Take over here, buddy. So again, maybe a little greedy. This was my original. This is your best, most safest TP right here is your value area high. It's pretty easy for it to reject from there as well. So I'm just hoping that we still have this continued push from buyers right here. Like I already mentioned, they do have an area here, right here, that this is unbalanced. So they could want to go retest that. I would hate that because that's coming right back down to my entry. But it's also part of trading. All right, we got some absorption there. Let's see if the buyers can continue through. 350s now. They got to get through the 350s, which is sitting right here. See them break through there. Come on, keep going. Small sellers coming in, nothing big. Let's go. Big absorption there by sellers. And sellers keep hammering this sucker down. All right, so the 360s, just so you guys can see what I'm doing here. That's not what I wanted to show you. So the 360 sellers right here, down they move to the 352s. And I think that's where I'm going to take profit, which would be right around here. Let's see if they can absorb through there. Right there. And we'll go get out with a 27-point TP if we can get there. They just jumped. I saw the jump from the 360s to the 352s, so might as well go to an area that I know they're going to want to balance out here. Even though they did not tap in. And if they do absorb the 352s, then our original TP probably still would stand. Oh my god, I missed it by a tick there. All right, there you go. They just absorbed there. You saw that. So we took out our TP right there. So now you could see a big push right to where our TP would have been at. Big possibility right now, because that was the big roadblock that I was seeing, was at the 360s right around here. They just jumped right down to the 352s that I figured, you know what, why be in more drawdown? But this could be the rip right here. We'll see. We'll see if they can get through here or not. So lost out about, I don't know, maybe about eight points of profit right there. And then overall, could have been an extra 20 points getting profit right here. It looks like buyers are doing a decent job right now of absorbing. 370s, there's another area right here at the 370s, so this would be right here. And that's what happens. I mean, sometimes you get out a little bit early, and that's when your move happens. Get rid of all this. We don't need this anymore. And I actually closed out on a much better price on my Top X funded accounts because I had my stop, I had my take profit right at the 358. I had it at 358.25. But overall, I mean, take a look at the market structure here today. Not the easiest environment right now. Yesterday and today, I'd say, have been pretty treacherous. So we got the IB low still untouched. IB high already got touched there once. And now we just wait. We wait for another setup. We need some kind of expansion here. Today is 4/10/2026. Was that trade? It was. No, it's this guy right here. 10 points. So I've got a tracker set up on my spreadsheet, on my big spreadsheet here for the 15-minute IB, just so that you guys we can all kind of track it together. Currently, for the 3 days trading it, we're down 22 points. Which again, on any one of those 3 days, if you were to take the original setup of the 1 minute candlestick, that would have been a much greater loss. So the stop loss is very manageable and very it's obviously on days like today it hurts, but so again, that's 20 points right there that I gave up by moving that TP down into this area. This would have been my original TP, so that 358 level, I was probably about 8 points short of that. But your true target here would be in just the break of structure right up here, which we're going in right now. And again, if you're willing to let your stop loss, if you're willing to let price action come all the way down to your stop, and you're not dynamically moving your stop based on price action or based on volume or based on whatever criteria you use, that honestly doesn't make much sense to be playing around with your take profit. And that would have been your full TP right there on that strategy right there. What's P&L sitting at? Oh man, negative 35 bucks. So practically break even for the day. All right, well, let's see if we can change that. You got it, J-Loves. Appreciate you supporting me every day. You guys think about this flip right here? Nice little initial balance flip here. You can see how strong buyers are attempting to get this sucker going up. But sellers are still right now in somewhat control. Let's see if this changes or not. And what did I say that they left unbalanced? Oh, that was way down there. That was way down here. I left this unbalanced right now. I don't know, we close here with this down footprint. I might be willing to take a 15-point stab here. Let's see if we can get some, let's see if they just take this right back up into that range. If we see sellers coming back in here, we have not right now. You can see buyers trying. Let's see. I see why you like the 25 400s. The amount of liquidity sitting up there. Same thing on the ES at the 68.90s. Buyers having a tough time right here getting through. If they can break through here, they've got a lot of sellers trapped right here. And like I think right, who mentioned the 25,400s? Great amount of liquidity sitting up there at the 25,400s, so that's a pretty big target for them to go after. They got to get through this area right here first. It's feeling very poppy to me now. This could get a quick pop here. Let's see. They just got to get through these 385s. They just did. They absorbed really well there. All right, let's see what happens here. Boatload of liquidity sitting right here at the 25,400s. So you got 220 contracts sitting up there that they are coming after. Another flip. So we had a flip here that the buyers were able to overcome. Another flip right here. To me, it's showing some exhaustion here by buyers, even though I know the move hasn't been that great, but just kind of hard to take a short here as well. That might have been the short. That might have been the nice short play there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Looking for a flip here to the downside. Gotta see some positive delta here, which currently I'm not seeing any of. Sellers definitely got the momentum right now. Haven't seen an entry on the 60 besides this one up here. The 120 did give us a nice one. Looks like we kind of stalled out here a little bit. Let's see if we can get a flip here or not. See buyers stepping back in right here, so let's see if sellers can take this over here. No. We do have a decent target down here with this unbalanced volume, but I just not. Buyers definitely stepping back in. Seeing positive delta here. Let's see if we can get a flip here or not. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Yeah, I may have missed that move. So I was really looking for any entry I can get down here on the 30 and any of this noise over here, but really did not get any entry. Got it on the 120, so you got a nice flip right here, right off of the IB. So that would have been a nice little 30-point winner. Another retest here, possibly. Okay, I like this. I like the delta here. That's really not the greatest flip there. All right, I'm gonna take a quick stab here. Let's see where I can drop the stop. If it, what was that, 10 points there? You know, we'll see if we can go to break even too. I want to see this trade come right back on me. Let's go. All right, I could drop this down to about 2.5 points of risk here now. Come on. Give me some continuation. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Drop it. Come on, sellers. Drop it here. Come on. TP, baby. Let's go. Come on, not a point there from TP. Let's go. One little drop here. All right, I'm going to knock it out there. It touched my TP there twice, and that would have hit me right there. All right, 17 points there. Not bad. Considering that I didn't get in the best, I didn't really get in the best. I mean, I did get a little bit of a pullback here, and then finally got two flips. So, again, positive delta, and red footprints on both. So, and we're... The ultimate target was this unbalanced volume area sitting right here. I'm okay with that trade. 17.5 points. Off of initially maybe 8 points of risk and then quickly dropping it down to 2.5 points of risk. I'm very happy with that. Just squeaked at that. I just squeaked at that unbalanced volume right there. That was sitting this little pocket that I was that I would have been targeting. I would have been really upset if they wouldn't have tagged me out there. So at least able to capture some of that move to the downside. You know, this your best play here, you had to wait for the 120, which I think was really the first. Actually, no, I take that back. The 60 provided you a really nice entry up here, but a little difficult with this entry because we did have a flip here, and this is where I was kind of telling you that buyers are kind of getting exhausted. But there's also a huge amount of liquidity sitting at the 25,400, so there's always that play right there. So again, after missing this initial move, and then once we close below the IB high once again, I just switched over to the 30 and was kind of stalking the 30 the whole way down just to see if I can get any entry model whatsoever, which I did not until these two guys showed up right here. These were my two entry. I'll be right back, guys. All right, they took out that. We can probably get rid of this guy. We don't need him anymore. All right, so now what we're looking for is we finally had our first now leg down to the downside. Okay, broke some structure right here. So now if we're waiting for our next green footprint candle up here, we'll take the volume, fixed volume profile tool from here down to the next green candle and then see what kind of entries we can continue this momentum to the short side. And then looking at that gold setup that I gave you guys, that I kind of declassified this to like a C setup because of that sweep, and we missed it there now by like a couple ticks there on gold. Strong move to the downside there. So this for me is a at this point definitely is a no-go. Do have a setup here at the 4770.3, targeting the 4773.8, which I think I have already loaded up. I do. All right. right, guys, 5 more minutes here for the cash profit giveaway. No, it doesn't look like a lot, but I'm usually a pretty gracious person, so stick around. A nice little comeback there. Negative 1,000 to positive 400. Didn't make me work for it. But that's what this is. It's all work. I mean, to make some profit in this mess is pretty damn good, if I say so myself. If I say so myself. All right, just make sure you've got the word funded into the YouTube chat there, and we'll get the drawing here going in about 2 minutes. Let me work on getting this prepped up here. Tiger, what I can say is just backtest this this strategy right here, and I think you'll be pretty happy with the results. Again, it takes a lot of discretion out of trades. And you can still have discretion. I mean, you can still even have your own built-in strategy and still use this kind of as a framework for what you want to do. All right, guys, so as I'm only sitting at 392, I say only, but I feel like it was a pretty good fight this morning. Let's see what that even equates out to. That's $19.60, so I'm just going to up it to 25. I'm up $40 on both of my cash accounts, which is really not much, but It's better than the negative 120 bucks that I was earlier in the morning. So today's cash profit giveaway will be for 25 bucks cash. I wish it was in the thousands, but it's not. But something is better than nothing is the way I see it. So let's get this one going here. And if you haven't, now would be a good time to like the stream. It might bring you some added luck. But it's a great time to, oh, you know what? Sorry, hold on. I got to do the filter. Spinning. And put in the keyword. All right, now we are ready. Sorry about that. And there'll be a 2-minute timer once the winner is picked. You got 2 minutes to just type into the chat thanks, and if you don't type in within the first 2 minutes, we'll redo it all over again. All right, here we go. All right, Smooth Operator 23970. Smooth Operator 23970. I know he's on here quite often. So your 2-minute timer starts right now. Smooth Operator, you just go in and type in thanks, and you are the lucky winner of 25 bucks. I am here. Smooth Operator 23970. Perfect. All right, so we've got ourselves a winner for today. Smooth Operator. And Smooth Operator, hold on 1 second. Let me just give you instructions here. All right, take a look at that. Just send me a quick email. Thanks everybody for obviously the continued support. I've been having a lot of fun on the live streams. Hopefully you guys have been learning some things. I have tried to give you here a very, I don't want to call it basic, but it's a strategy that I think everybody can understand very easily. I'm telling you, it'll get you out of chop, and it'll let you stay in the trend days. It plays out on the range days pretty well. It does have some losing days, of course, when you get that particular model that I have been showing you guys continuously, because it's gonna show its ugly head. This pattern right here is a killer, but it's also a killer for most trading strategies if you really think about it. You know, you bet on the longs here, you get crapped out on the stops here, and then you come right back to the longs here, come back to the stops here. So there's particular range days that the strategy gets kind of hurt on, but on your basic everyday range day, it still performs really well. And it's one that's easy to understand. I've implemented the 1 hour initial balance, which again, I think is very easy for people to understand. If you have the capability of the footprint charts, it'll make your life so much easier. It's the only way that was really able to take that 17-point winner right here off of the footprint. I just waited for my confirmation, got it. I was a little late to this bigger confirmation right here, but this would have been a really nice trade. I would have been targeting 30 points, maybe 45 points here, and you would have gotten that one here as well. So hopefully you guys are kind of understanding the volume-based approach that I'm taking it. Trying to make it as friendly as I can for the stream and for the traders that are following me. And once again, I just want to say thank you for the continued support that you guys give me every single day. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Tomorrow's going to be a shortened week. I will be chaperoning my daughter's Washington, D.C. trip. So no stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I apologize in advance. But daddy duties do come first on this one. So have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your day. Try to stay patient. And if you see the setups, go in and take them, man. All right. Take care, everyone.